All right, I'm here with Brooke and Nathan Nugent. Yep. Not related to Ted Nugent?
No.
Okay, anyway.
Yep.
Ted Nugent's pretty cool. These guys are pretty cool. And I wanted to interview him for a long time because Austin, my son, did a wedding with them and sang in their wedding, and he was talking about how they were pure in their relationship. And we did a video called Let's Talk About Sex. Got a ton of feedback because a lot of people don't think that you can do that. They don't think you can remain pure. They don't think that you can have a healthy sex life unless you have a lot of experience and that you've, driven the car before you bought it, so to speak, or as Nathan said, you milk the cow before you
Why buy the cow if you get free milk?
Why buy the cow before you get free milk? But so anyway, here they are, and Brooke and Nathan. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hi.
Yeah. I'm going to focus on Brooke because she's a lot prettier than Nathan is.
Definitely.
Oh, please.
But get a little closer.
I'm just glad to be referred to as the cow in this situation.
Get a little closer. You guys can hug.
Okay.
So this is a small little clip.
We love each other.
Love each other. How long have you guys been married?
Since January, so what, 3 months? 4 months?
3 months, almost 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you date before you got married?
A little over 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, probably 5.5 years.
Okay. We did too. We talked about that in our video. That's a long time to date.
It's a long time.
Where did you guys meet?
At Westmont College. So I was a sophomore and she was a freshman.
Okay.
And I creeped on her.
So you're kind of robbing the cradle?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, he was just really persistent. And then finally I went, I do
Hey,
love you.
I saw what I liked and I wanted.
That's right. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a firefighter.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
And I'm a teacher.
All right. Awesome. And tell us a little bit about what I want to focus on today is, I guess I'm going to ask the question, is it possible to be a couple in the new millennium and remain pure sexually, or is that an impossibility? And what do you guys think about that?
It's possible, but it is really hard. It has to be a complete decision that you both make. It can't be something that's like a vague, oh, we'll just see where it goes. That's not something we want to do, and just sort of go from there. It has to be something where you sit down and you say, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to stick by. Because there's days that, she's weak, I'm strong, I was weak, she was strong. Because, to tell you the truth, especially as you got close to the wedding, it was like, why? Why? I know that I'm going to marry this person. But for us, we were able to with the help of the Lord, and I think that God's honored us in that, in our marriage. And but it definitely, it was an easy flip of the switch to be that close,
Yeah, and it's just, we're so happy now that we got married. We're so happy that we waited and that we didn't sleep together before we were married, that we just think we're so blessed now, and it's so worth it. So all those times where it was so difficult, it's just really paid off now, and it's a really good feeling to that wedding night to be the first time that we do that with each other, and it's this whole new type of intimacy, and it was so much more special because we waited for that for each other.
How old are you guys?
I'm 23 and
I'm 24.
24. Okay,
so we're young.
You're young, and I think I guess the other question I would have is this, because when I talked about it on our video, we waited too, and I said, and I tell my boys this, that it's the single hardest thing I've ever been through in my entire life. Now, we've been through some hard things in the last 3 years, but just that, because I think it's because it's hormonal, and it is such an all-consuming thing. But like you said, when you wait, it does something to your marriage. What do you think that is? Because I think we're going to get a lot of feedback on this, by the way, because people are going to say that's unrealistic. Now, you guys are 23 and 24. Tell me, is this something, are you unique in that, or do you think there's other couples like you that do the same thing?
I think there's definitely other couples.
We know of.
Yeah, that I know of. I have friends, but I also have friends that are great people and stuff that haven't waited, and it's a difficult thing, and it's one of those things you have to be conscious from the beginning. It's something that when we first started dating, we laid out what our rules were going to be.
Exactly.
And granted, there were times that we, kind of bent the rules, and it's the truth, and it's not something I'm proud of or I'm preaching, but by the Lord's help, we were able to, stay strong through the end. And I think that, and He's blessed us. And we're not, some prude couple where, it's just normal, I guess you could say just normal, basic sex. We enjoy our sex life. It's a wonderful thing. I know.
No, I think
That's good to talk about now.
Now
it's okay.
Are you blushing?
We're married, and it's within the wedding bed, you know, and what's in the wedding bed is blessed by God. And so I think that it's okay to go at this point, you know, we have fun. It's a good time. But I think that, you know, I think a lot of people would say, oh, that's just because you're just going to have your basic sex or whatever just to procreate or something like that. And we love having sex, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think it's really been a blessing, and that it's fun to explore new horizons together, you know, and it's been awesome as a married couple, knowing that no matter what happens there, that's the person that you spend the rest of your life with. There's no like, I guess you could say, of worrying about
or insecurity.
Insecurity of was I good enough, or was this right or that or there. It's all, you know, it's your wife. You know that she loves you no matter what, and that you know that it's something that you are working together at to make better for the two of you.
Talk about, as a girl, your girlfriends, how did they view you when you made that commitment? And I think that's what's so important is making commitments. And it's really hard, though. This is unlike any other commitment. You can buy a car and have a commitment to make payments on the car and things like that. But when you make a physical commitment with your body, it's really, really difficult. What did your girlfriends think of you? Did they know about this commitment? Is this something you guys talked about? Or was it private? Tell us about that.
Oh, my really close girlfriends totally knew, and I'm really fortunate to have amazing quality girlfriends, so they were really supportive in that process. And whenever I talk about it, the only thing that came out of their mouths was just encouragement about it. But that's also because I have the best friends that anyone could ever have, so I was really fortunate to have a really great support group that knew that we kind of made that commitment to each other and really got behind us and said, wow, that's so great. I'm so glad that you guys are doing that.
That's interesting. What about your guy friends? What do they think about it?
No, I mean, they knew, and, you know, especially my close friends, they were, you know, I have several friends that have made the same commitment, and there were some friends that thought I was crazy, you know, and obviously it's not something that I went around telling everyone. It wasn't like, oh, everyone knows that, you know, we're not having sex before we get married. It was just a commitment between her and I and the Lord. And, you know, my friends knew, and if someone asked me, I'd tell them, but it's not something I was going out and trying to preach and, you know, say, well, this is what we're doing, look at us. It was the decision that we feel that we are called to do in the Bible. So, and yeah, I got flack for it. Don't get me wrong. Like, people thought I was crazy.
I mean, I can imagine, like, yeah, I mean, you're a guy, and it's just, for some reason, it's okay for guys to be that way, but it's not for girls. But yet, I think there's a lot of girls these days that are just as aggressive as guys. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so tell me, what is the worst thing about waiting, and what is the best thing about waiting?
Well, the worst thing is not having sex.
Okay. Now the
best thing is we get to do it now.
Yeah. That's really easy.
Yeah.
And there's no guilt, and it's wonderful, and there's, like we said, there's that deep sense of security. So I know that this is my husband and that he's going to be there forever, and this is our family, and this is our life together. So there's that sense of...
And it's a sense of freedom, too. It's a sense of, you know, before it would be like, you when you're younger, you know, you want to hide whatever from your parents or something like that. There's no sense of guilt. There's no sense of having to hide, live this secret.
It's encouraged.
You know, it's like, yeah, what once was forbidden is now encouraged. You know, it's oh yeah, it was great. You know, and it's something that you can be proud of. That, I don't know.
All right, so we only have like a minute left. So I want you guys, the forum here is the world. You have 28 different countries looking at this video. What would you say? You're standing in front of the world right now, a newly married couple, young couple. What would you say to everybody?
I would say that if you're in a relationship with someone, that you should definitely wait until you get married to be sexually intimate. It's so worth the wait, and we feel like we've been really blessed through that process.
And that with sex comes a high degree of intimacy, and everyone knows that's had sex. And that intimacy is a great, wonderful thing, but when it's outside the marriage relationship, it can be broken. It can be, it's thrown away, and it takes a little part of you away if you're with a different partner. But when it's within the marriage bed, there's a blessing that comes with that, and a level of intimacy that is unparalleled, I would think. That, you know, it's just a wonderful thing. So it's worth waiting.
Yeah, well, thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. And honestly, this is an encouragement. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there, including teenagers on up, that they need somebody to look up to. And looking up to, you know, Christy and I being in our, you know, just turned 40. Here's a couple, you know.
You guys don't look 40.
Well, we don't look 40, but yeah, I mean, two decades below us, doing the same thing and following the same plan. So thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate all your time and all your insight.
Absolutely.
Of course. Thanks.
You're welcome. Kiss.
Kiss.
You got to kiss. Nice.